Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 7.3.4 Mixmaster Double Down and Shifting Immunity. Now this part is gonna start with Void and end with Tigra. There are some annoying fights here, including a Tigra, Void, and also a Wasp and Human Torch. We will discuss it in more detail. So the nodes are going to be Mixmaster and Shifting Immunity with Bleed and Poison, and then there is going to be two new nodes that's going to be Double Down and Precision Parry. So for Precision Parry, the defender is going to be stun immune, and the attacker can only stun the opponent passively if there is one or more precision buffs on them. And how you gain those precision buffs on scale attackers, there is going to be a node double down. So whenever you will try to apply a debuff on the opponent that the defender is immune to, the attacker will gain a precision buff. So I would suggest you highly bring all of your skill champions with easy access to bleeds, poisons. Anti-weight champs will also work, but preferably use anti-weight champions that are skill class. Some other options you can rework are Ghost, Hercules, and also Quake. Those are the usual big champs that you can bring. And the boss we're going to attempt is going to be a Doctor Strange. We will take him down with a Black Widow Clairvoyant. So let's jump into the part, guys. But before we do, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. And for the masteries, I am going to use a suicide setup. This is my basic setup. My defense and utility always remains the same, and I switch between suicides and non-suicides. If I'm using a non-suicide setup, I will just keep the 7 points and I will use them later and put them on. So let's jump into the part, guys. The first part is going to be against a Void. Now if you're going to go against a Void, bring a champion that can easily shrug off your bleeds and poisons. Otherwise, because of Void's ability, you will die very quick if you're running suicides. Now I have brought in Moleman. Moleman is amazing in shrugging off all of those damaging and non-damaging debuffs. So all I'm trying to do, I'm hitting him in his block, and you will notice that I'm getting all of those parries on me. So once I have at least 5 or 6 of them built, I will parry him, and that will passively stun, and then I can go in and start hitting him as I like. I am deliberately not activating my monster mass, because if I activate my monster mass and go into frenzy, I will not be able to shrug off the debuff. So I am choosing to not do that. Now you can also use some other champions here, like Nick Fury can also work. You can use Hercules, you can also use Ghost. So all of those champions work. I would highly suggest you not to have suicides for this whole path. I am using them because I have a champion like Moleman that I can remove them at the start of the fight. So if you have Nick Fury with Deadpool, you can also use that. If you have any kind of combination that you can use suicide masteries at the start of the path, it will help you on this whole path, especially against Void. So again, let's put it simply, try to hit the opponent in their block, or try to hit them in the beginning. That will fail their bleeds or poisons, and once you fail them, you will get those precisions on you, and once you have enough precisions, you can just try to parry, and that will give a passive stun to the defender equal to 0.5 second for every precision buff you have on you. So if you have 12 debuffs, the defender will be, if you have 12 buffs of precision, the defender will be stunned for 6 seconds. So I hope that's clear, guys. And next up is going to be Venom the Duck. I am going to use Killmonger. Now remember, there's also Mixmaster here. With Moleman, it was easy to control that because he has True Sight. Now with Killmonger, I have brought in a synergy with with Winter Soldier. So whenever I will intercept, I will get the True Strike, and also he has his own True Strike whenever you attack the opponent right after their special. So the hard part is to just get it activated the first time, and then you can easily get through the fight and have 100% uptime on your True Strike. And that's about it, guys. It's a pretty simple and straightforward one. Just keep building up those precisions, and if you need to do a parry, you use the passive stun. Otherwise, Venom the Duck SP1 is easily evadable. Let him throw that SP1 out, and you can go back in, and the True Strike will keep the Mixmaster away. Now the next fight is going to be against a Wasp. Now remember, she is going to be stun immune, and you won't be able to hit her straight if you don't have a true strike champion, because she will evade and she will give you shock. Now if you don't have a shock immune champion, what you need to do is to keep blocking and let her throw a heavy attack. When she does throw a heavy attack, her evade will go into cooldown and you can go back in and attack her. And then when she has an SP1, then it's easy settings. You can just let her throw her SP1 and her evade will go into cooldown, and you can repeat that. A champion with a true strike or a champion who can evade will also help for you. So yeah, Killmonger, uh, Black Panther, Civil War, all of these champions will work. Also champions that can convert those shocks. So for example, Ghost will also work great. Shang-Chi with his slow will also work great. So have a champion that can easily do anti-evade, and then wait for her to throw an SP1 or heavy attack, and once her evade goes into cooldown, you can go back and attack. But a champion like Falcon, you don't need to worry about that, because as long as the lockdown is on, she cannot evade, so that will also be to your advantage. So again, simply this fight can be easily won with skill champions that have access to anti-evade, and as long as Wasp doesn't evade and give you a shock debuff, everything else is pretty straightforward and a piece of cake. Next defender is going to be a Loki. Now from all of this part, this was the most annoying defender for me, because he just keeps getting an SP1 and he will keep throwing it to just put you off. So you'll have to play around that. I do get hit in my face with an SP2 once or twice, and that's really annoying. But then apart from that, the fight was pretty straightforward. All you need to do was to get your true strike up and going, and once you have that, then you can easily keep that up and running. With Loki, he will be very trigger happy, so it will be easier for you to get an opening right after an SP1, and because of immunity, you will gain all of those precisions on you. And with all of those precisions, you can easily passively stun with the parry, and you can use that to your advantage as well. So pretty simple and straightforward fight. Once you get hold of the nodes, you understand how to use them, you can pretty much use any skill champion, preferably with a true strike or anti-evade mechanism, and the whole path becomes super easy to deal with. Now next defender is going to be a Human Torch, and I'm going to use a Black Panther OG here. Now with his new abilities, and he has a synergy with Killmonger, that whenever you will intercept, you will get a True Strike. So the True Strike will really help you. The True Strike will really help you avoid the Mix Master, and all of those bleeds will also chip in with the Shifting Immunity. And because he has an aggressive playstyle, he will be able to bring down the defender, any defender, very quick. And on top of that, Human Torch is also very susceptible to bleeds, so Black Panther OG will be a really good counter against him. So will be any other champion with all the bleeds, so like Nick Fury, also Killmonger, Monkey King. All of try to use champions that have some crits and they can finish off the fights faster. That's my thought process. I will just try to bring in champions that have anti-weight and can do crits, and preferably skill champion. You can make the path fights much shorter. Now this next fight is going to be the most annoying one. That will be against a Tigra. If you have not played with Tigra or against Tigra, you will understand that the spacing is really annoying here. So you will have to not only keep the spacing, you will also have to keep her to an SP1 only. Sometimes she can get very stubborn on throwing her SP1 and she will throw an SP2. And on the SP2, her animation is so long and she can cover the whole screen, so you can get clipped by it. On top of it, she also goes unblockable if she is duped, so you need to be careful about that as well. So my choice was a Falcon, and I was just trying to bait out her SP1 and then make sure whenever I attack her, I have that lockdown on her. With that, even if she tries to evade because of Mixmaster, I will get cruelty on me, and then I will be easily trying to kill her off. One thing though, if she is blocking, try to keep hit her in a block and push her on her side. You will need all the spacing you need for this fight. So I think I do die here, but I am able to bring her down. So this is going to be one of the key annoying fights for the section. So make sure that when you plan for the fight, make sure you bring a right counter for the Tigra over here. And finally, we have the boss fight. Now there are quite a few nodes here, so there is Prey on the weak. So whenever there's a deep buff expired on the attacker, that is going to give Doctor Strange some power. There's also going to be ionized armor. So whenever a defender will finish a special attack, they will gain an armor buff granting 10% armor. And there's also going to be ironclad. So there's a lot of armor involved here, so the easy way you can deal with that is to bring a champion that can easily nullify those armors, so the special damage from Doctor Strange keeps down, because the more armor he has, the more special damage he will do. Apart from that, he's going to have special chaos inversion, so whenever he will throw a special attack, your control will be reversed. But the good part is they're not unblockable, so you can literally parry the specials. But if you do that, you will need a champion that has a continued sustain. Now Black Widow Clairvoyant is a really good counter to Doctor Strange, because not only she can remove all of those armors, but she can also be very sustainable with her regions as well when she is in bleed mode. Another one is going to be Captain America Infinity War. He works really well here. If you bring in with a tech synergy and also a cosmic synergy, he will armor break Doctor Strange a lot, and he will also petrify him and stop the flow of power. So all of these champions work really well. Also heavy handed is there, so if you bring a champion that has a parry and heavy style like Captain America Infinity War or Human Torch, even Doom, these kind of champions work really well here. Also Mr. Fantastic is also a good option here. Spider-Man 2099. So again, it's you can, all you need to do is to bring in a champion that can deal with those armor breaks, and you can evade the SP1 easily. SP2 you can block, so tanky champions will work here. The only thing that will try to annoy you is going to be your special chaos inversion, so you can easily block the specials and wait for the inverted controls to go away, so before you can attack. Just keep him away from SP3, and it's a very easy fight. Probably it is one of the easier bosses of 7.3. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. I will try to finish off all the remaining parts on 7.3 as quick as possible. So stay tuned, guys, and apart from that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.